Yeah, it's an entirely new body of work which was made specifically for the context of the Art Now space and that space being within Tate Britain. And I suppose that has been the way that I've been working over the last few years, in that make a body of work for a particular context, and it's normally a sort of made up of drawings and sculptures, but they work together as one work. So the poster, in a sense, is the first work. It's not repeating works from the show. So when you open up the poster, it has an image of the torso and metal from the rock drill, which is repeated and sort of begins to obliterate itself. So that's a direct visual reference to the Epstein sculpture, and that's the only reference, the only reference which is as direct as that. And then as you enter the space, we've built a sort of corridor space which has got 13 photographs which have got 3 sort of crudely drawn black lines with a marker pen. And then when you reach the end of the 13 photographs, you can turn into the main space, and there is a large object on a plinth with 3 poster drawings sort of across from it, and the object is a segment of a bed, as if 10 minutes of time on a clock, that sort of segment shape, was a solid and was then applied to an object. The final pieces, which is a series of 4 photographs, which are documenting the action of me continuously writing the word still in a new sketchbook, and trying to imitate the Kruger font again, using a black marker pen which echoes the lines in the initial photographs. And as I write it, I rip the pages out and repeat it again until there aren't any pages left. So it's sort of this futile action of trying to keep the word still present. I was interested in the way that the original Epstein sculpture had legs and was actually sitting abreast a real drill, and had this sexually aggressive quality to it, and it caused great controversy and outrage amongst artists and critics when he first showed it. So the version that he ended up casting in bronze, which the Tate has in their collection, is an incomplete version of its former self. So it's been sort of severed at its waist, and you're given the torso, and it's even had an arm taken off. So the sculpture that you see now is a really kind of defenceless, incomplete version of its former self. And so I think I was thinking about this idea of control and power, and that has that's been a theme in other works as well. 1989, Kruger made Work Your Body as a Battleground, and she actually used that phrase or sentence in several works. And so I added still, your body is a battleground still, and I wanted that to be a reference saying, your body of work, Jacob Epstein, that work is still an active space for discussion. And then it was also thinking about the idea that the viewer, I wanted it to be quite a strong statement in the Tate, and I wanted to use that context and the title for it to be something that was quite sort of draw you in. I think I'm most interested in sort of a physical response to the body, or using the body as a way to suggest things about our relationship to the world. I am really interested in a lot of female artists, especially 20th century female artists, and I love the Eileen Agger sculpture, The Angel of Anarchy, which is in the Tate collection, and I had been thinking about that, and I had an image of it on my studio wall, and it was only when I had completed the drawing too late, with the object stuck to a head that, or stuck to my head, but that I realised it was very similar, this idea of a head with these sort of objects, the way the Angel of Anarchy is sort of blindfolded and wrestling with these things, and it's using very different materials, and it's a sculptural form, but I think she's a really important and interesting artist. So I think I have thought over the last few years with different works about levels of participation, and I mentioned before about thinking about control and power within previous works. I think I've tried to use that in terms of the viewer's place within that. But I also feel that has to be, it can be such an exciting, challenging aspect of the work, but it has to be sensitively done, and it's got to be relevant. It's not trying to make it about that, trying to make it participatory for the sake of it.